What's going on, everyone? Hope you had a great weekend. We're only a couple weeks away from the NFL season, or the first week prior to the NFL season. Lots of fantasy drafts going on. I'm about to do one. I'm in a milli maker. Let's do this. I drew the 8th spot. Not the most desirable position to be in, but we'll see what we can do. Luke wrote this before we went live about 2 hours ago. All it says is a Mecca Igbuka. I got to meet Luke at the Fantasy Football Expo. That was great. But yeah, Mecca Igbuka. Agreed. Scott said, holy crap, I'm finally here live. Have meetings during the morning streams. What's up, Scott? Also, finally get a late pick. Feel like most streams are early. Recently, most streams have been early, yeah. Wow. 8 hole is perfect for a Bub Means selection. I am wearing a pit hat right now, so. What's going on, Jaquan? Jalen Wright or Ollie Gordon in a full PPR league? I mean, if we're... Look, I'm going to have some changes to... Ooh, look at that. Bijan going 101. I'm going to have some changes to the draft guide. I was... You know, I had a discussion with David Kitchen about this earlier today, where I was drafting a lot of Jalen Wright in July, especially, and he's looked pretty bad these first couple of preseason games. I wasn't like, you know, overly excited about him as a prospect last year, but I did think he fit the system well. The problem is I saw Ollie Gordon as we didn't know what was going to go down between him and Alexander Mattison, and I should have reacted more aggressively to the Alexander Mattison season-ending injury, because go read the draft guide, the prospect guide rather. Ollie Gordon looked really good in the Zap model. And so, all right, here we go. I'm going to go Collins over Neighbors just because I just drafted Neighbors elsewhere. I mean, this is really not, you know, it's not like a huge difference for me, but yeah, so like, I really liked Ollie Gordon, and the Alexander Mattison injury really opens things up for him to step in and be more like, I would much rather have Alexander Mattison competing with Jalen Wright as a person who drafted Jalen Wright versus Ollie Gordon, because we already knew what Alexander Mattison was. And I'm more nervous now. So I'm going to see if I can get Ollie Gordon in this draft. Cause I want to up my exposure. I think he's good. Now, would I take him straight up over Jalen Wright? Probably still going right, but do I think Ollie Gordon is a good pick? Yeah. If it's a really shallow league, I usually like take a shot on the more ambiguous upside, which I think might be Gordon right now. What's going on, Connor? First year following. Good to have you around. Pete, good to see you, brother. Breaking, Browns announced Flacco as week 1 starter. Not surprising. Flacco named week 1 starter. How does that change the rankings for Perfect Dark and Goldeneye? Perfect Dark is still better than Goldeneye, despite that news. Yeah, Ollie Gordon's top comps in the Zap model were James Conner and Ramondre Stevenson, which could certainly do worse than that. Now, do I get the falling Achane? Not if we're going to get Ollie Gordon later, am I right? We're going to go, oh man, let's just get Brock Bowers. Let's just go with like a different kind of build. Not that I, taken plenty of Bowers. And no, I'm not concerned about the preseason usage. JJ, what are your thoughts on JSN with Darnold at quarterback? I love JSN as a player, as a fantasy asset. You know, and you're in like a dead area in that 3rd round. Like, I would love to get JSN on this team. You're in that dead area in the 3rd round, so it's just kind of like, sure, I'll go that route, you know. But yeah, JSN can play inside out. I think they're going to play him inside out. Preseason usage dictated Kupp was playing more on the outside than I think a lot of people expect. Man, a lot of questions coming in despite the number of people that are in here. Bookie says, how flexible are you in rankings towards PPR leagues? I'm not really sure what that means. I'm flexible. I mean, I don't really understand what that means. I feel like it's ridiculous how Bijan literally partners up to have a mustard brand associate his his name with the mustard type and then tells people not to pronounce his name like the mustard type. Yeah, I don't know. Eloso, a bunch of NFL news happened this weekend. Does the HN injury scare you at all? A little bit. I think that's probably dictated why I went Bowers here, but in a managed league, I'd still go HN. I'm just trying to get different exposures and stuff. Pete, I hope Greece was good, man. That sounds great. Yeah, Nico Bowers is an easy start. I heard Brock Bowers was the best ever this year. I don't know what that means. Thoughts on the Jags backfield after preseason week 2? Who's the Bucky Irving? Yeah, no one's the Bucky Irving. I mean, you have to be Bucky Irving to be Bucky Irving. Look, I don't mind using coordinator data and tendencies and stuff like that. It's just the thing that pisses me off. Pisses is too strong a word. The thing that annoys me is, like whoever plays the slot is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown and Ben Johnson's offense. No, that's not the way it's going to be. Number one, there's probably more of a rotation out of the slot in that offense in Chicago because there's more weapons and players who are capable of playing in the slot. But also, does that mean Olamide Zaccheaus is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown? I mean, like, we can say the slot is a good spot to be, but I don't think there's going to be a singular Amon-Ra St. Brown type player, So like I said, we can get JSN. We can also get Amari and Hampton here. So I'm cool with either pick. All right, so we'll go Amari and Hampton. That pairs with Nico for week 17. Hit the like, you fools. JJ's the next big thing in best ball. Boom. I kind of like just being becoming a best ball bro. Like, I don't need to be the one doing all of that analysis because I have enough analysis that I'm doing with regular managed leagues. The running back cliff after round 3 scares me. It feels impossible to leave a draft without at least one. Yeah, I feel that. Hey, JJ, making my way through your draft guide for the second year. What's your general approach to playing deep leagues? Look, I don't think that's that big of a, I mean, it's a decently sized league, but I don't think that's like that huge of a league in terms of size, but deprioritize the onesie positions a little bit more. Like, lean into supply and demand more because, as you are starting, yes, more quarterbacks and more tight ends, you're starting double the number of running backs and wide receivers in those formats. Yeah, we talked about Flacco being named week 1 starter, folks. So yeah, this is another kind of dead area of the draft. It's like we want to pick like round 5 guys over round 4 ones often. Getting Devontae Adams wouldn't be bad here. I'm still into Xavier Worthy at his cost because of the Rashee Rice. Now I'm actually like Worthy even more. I just don't know why he hasn't been budging at all in cost. It doesn't make any sense to me. He's a great best ball player. It's just really strange to me. So we'll go Worthy next. Could have gone Tet. Would have been fine with that. That's right. Henderson truthers rise up. Let's go, baby. It's good to see him build to the moon if B-Rob's traded. It'll be interesting to see where. Honestly, I've been fading B-Rob, as you guys know, and I'm more worried about B-Rob now in that fade than I was before. Because if he goes to a different team, if he goes to Chicago, then the people who are drafting B-Rob got him at a discount potentially, which is frustrating, super frustrating. I didn't go Tet. I have a lot of Tet. I can go either way with Tet or Worthy. I'm just kind of, so the drafts this time of year, I'm kind of playing the exposure game a little bit. And I also think that Worthy should rise to more of that 3-4 turn based on some of the news that we got with Rice last week. Breece Hall, B-Rob swap. That's not going to happen. I actually don't think that this is that big of a deal for like this was to me to be expected with Flacco. The problem I have with Flacco and the Browns in general, they're like what you guys say in chat. What % chance do you think Joe Flacco is starting in week 15? Genuinely, like the most important week of the fantasy season, the start of the playoffs. Like, what % chance do you think Flacco is their starter at that point in time? So you can draft him fine, and you're obviously helping your team hopefully advance and get there. But yeah, all of these are saying 0%. One person says, C-Dub says 25%, 5%, 3%, 0%, 25%. I'd put it at like 10 to 15%. They're going to want to see what they have in those other quarterbacks. If Flacco is starting early in the season, that means it's more likely that he's not going to start late in the season, in my opinion. I just noticed Travion Henderson went 302. That's insane. Gone are the days that I was drafting him at the 5-6 turn. Those were fun. Yeah, I mean, I have no idea how it. Here's the other thing, guys. Joe Flacco's not good. Can we stop this? Can we stop this? Like, oh, he was not even good the year that they ended up going to the playoffs and he lost in that first round to Houston. He had a good stretch of like 3 games and then regression and the football gods caught up. All right, you know what we could do is get Rashee Rice and just get both of them. What do you guys feel about that? Let's get a little weird. Might have to reach for Mahomes in the next round. It'll be, I mean, this is Millie draft 139 or something, so we might as well just get a little strange. Yeah, that was with a better O-line. Yeah, I'll talk about the Jags backfield. So I mean, my stance hasn't really changed. Like, I think that Tank Bigsby is a 2-down back. I don't think that Tank Bigsby is going to be a high volume receiver in that offense. If Bigsby's the dude who is going to be seeing a lot of the touches on the ground, I feel better about late season Bashaw Tootin being able to take over that backfield. And then ETN just kind of floating there. But ETN, like, I still rank them ETN, Bigsby, Tootin from like a redraft perspective, but I think Tootin is the best pick to make, if that makes sense. It's gonna be. I'm not gonna. I don't think I can reach for. I think I just gotta hope that Mahomes falls in the next round. We're gonna push it. I mean, we're talking like 6 picks after ADP. There's so many good players right here. And there's that wall in the next round. And I've seen Mahomes fall enough. We're going to push it. We might get it wrong. We're going to get RJ Harvey because that's a bring back for Kansas City. So at the very least, we have these Chiefs with Harvey. And then we'll see if Mahomes falls. We'll see how. I mean, this is playing with fire on DraftKings for sure, without a doubt. But it makes it for a more fun stream, right? I don't have any insider info, no. On DraftKings offers. Looking to add another running back after the draft. Ford, Roshan, Monangai, Gordon. I mean, if you need production right away, Ford is probably my pick. If you need just straight up upside, I don't know. I'm starting to lean, if you want only upside and not from like a best ball environment and stuff, starting to lean Monangai more over Roshan. Between Roshi, Wright, Tootin, and Marks, who do you feel has the easiest path to RB1? I mean, look, there's a difference between the easiest path and the player that I like. Like, I think talent has to play a factor here because I don't think Roshan Johnson is nearly as talented as, or has the potential as like a Bashaw Tootin. And I think Tootin is the best running back in this group. So I'm going to say Tootin because I think like I'm merging talent with the path, right? I like Woody Marks though, as a dart right now. I'd probably rank these guys as Tootin, Marks, Roshan, Wright at the moment. But I think Roshan and Wright are kind of in the same bucket. Are you worried that Quinshon Judkins still isn't signed? If you drafted already and have Dylan Sampson, would you be holding right now? Yeah, I would hold. Yes, you should hold Dylan Sampson still. JJ, do you plan on to increase the number of best ball drafts you enter as we get closer to week 1, like ramp up as we get closer? No. I mean, I'm in a lot of slows right now. I think I'm in like, I mean, I say a lot. I know that others are in like 300 plus. But I'm in a lot of the $59 ones on DK and a lot of like the 3 max ones that they have. So I think I'm probably in, I don't know, I want to say 70 slows at the moment. All right, let's hope that we can get Mahomes. Ollie didn't leapfrog right. I talked about it earlier though. If you want to back up a little bit, I don't want to say the same thing that I said earlier. Okay, this team picking now has Jalen Hurts. 300 slow drafts is absolutely bonkers. I was listening. I heard Karain has like 500 right now. The dude is a sicko. Just an absolute sicko. So this team, okay, good. Look at this. You push Mahomes. You get Mahomes. So we got the Kansas City stack with the Denver bring back in week 17. The last couple of pods with Siegel and Burrows were fire. Thank you. Yeah, Todd was a really fun interview because I think that he came with just a different perspective on things than what you guys have heard on Becoming a Best Ball Bro. Siegel's always fun to talk to because he has some really interesting ideas each year. It also sucks that I didn't get Tony Pollard there because he was falling, but I had to take Mahomes. Pollard, I think, needs to go at like the 6-7 turn. No chance am I taking Caleb Johnson and Jordan Mason over Tony Pollard right now. Like there goes Brian Robinson ahead of ADP and with the hopes that he goes to a different team. So I'm saying I'm just praying that Brian Robinson stays put at this point. Although I have a lot of Ja'Cory Crosky merit from earlier in the offseason when he was like a 20th rounder. All right. Next round, pretty iffy spot again. I think we're just going to force wide receiver, especially with Rashee Rice on the squad. I'm cool with getting Juwan Jennings, but man, we're in a tough spot if we can't get Juwan here. Just given all these injuries that are happening to this tier of wide receiver. I'll probably just take best wide receiver available. I mean, maybe we can go Tyrone Tracy. Let's go Tracy if we don't get Jennings, and then just kind of stockpile. Because Tracy is a bring back for Bowers. All right, we'll get Jennings just to get a wide out there. Late round perspective is such a cool series. I really dig it. Thank you. I really enjoy doing perspectives. And this week's guest, I can't wait to talk to him. No spoiler. Do you agree with Evan Silva that Christian Kirk may be a perennial sleeper this year? Yeah, I mean, I think that he's a pretty good pick. I took him in the Apex League that we are in. I mean, is he a guy that's going to be a top 24 wide receiver? Probably not. But I think that, him and like Demario Douglas, some of those slot guys that can, and not only that, but Kirk was running 2 wide receiver sets in the preseason. It's just eventually Jaden Higgins is going to come on, I think. Every Friday is when Perspectives comes out. Well, not every Friday, but Fridays are when Perspectives comes out. In season, you get 2 episodes every Friday where it's the mailbag and then Perspectives. So mailbag comes out around 5:30 a.m. or whatever I push it. And then Perspectives comes out at noon in season. And that's every week. So Perspectives is about to start every single week pretty soon. But during the off season, it's every other. And I alternate with the mailbag. So this week's Perspectives, I have my guest ready. I'm excited to talk to him. And then there's a break where you get a mailbag next week. And then the week after is the first week of the season where I'm doing 5 episodes a week. We got more spam. Spam's been hitting hard in these live streams. All right, where are we at? Man, we are going to have to go. Oh, no, I took Jennings. We're okay. I think we take Sharps. Or we just take Purdy. There's enough. You know what? Maybe we take Purdy. I'm between the two. I'm trying to balance my Kenneth Walker exposure a little bit more. Let's take Purdy. Still might get Sharps technically. But I like Rashid Shaheed. We can get Jaden Higgins and start the Texans stuff. I'm gonna just put Christian Kirk and CJ Stroud in the queue as well. Shaheed would be nice for this build. Get a solid wide out here. Higgins would be fine though too. Higgins probably is the smarter pick for the build. And then I think like Luther Burden for a bring back for San Francisco. I just like Shaheed more than Higgins at the moment in terms of I need some more exposure. So I might go Shaheed and hope that I can get like a Stroud Christian Kirk thing after. People are going to hate this idea or hate that, but I'm playing the exposure thing too. Like I could have gone Higgins there, and I know that in a vacuum Higgins is the right pick, but I need more Shaheed exposure. I want to be above market. Do you think we could see Bears Justin Fields return with the Jets this season? The running upside is kind of crazy. I don't hear about him. I don't really understand what you mean. I mean, I think we're going to see the Bears Justin Fields, like a lot of rushing, you're saying? I think that's what we're going to see. There goes Higgins. Now, this Higgins team is the team that we would have to worry about CJ Stroud. I think Fields is going to run a lot. Yeah. I mean, have you seen? I mean, he's been horrible throwing the ball in the preseason, which is a combination of Justin Fields just not being a great passer, but also it's it's the lack of weapons that they have there. All right, there goes Christian Kirk. So he's getting pushed up. Sorry, I got a message from my wife. I had to make sure everything was good. Braylon Allen at 1102. It was really weird. I was drafting a lot of Braylon Allen. I'm not like overly high on. There goes Stroud. I knew that was what they were setting up, but I wasn't going to take Higgins here. So I'm glad that I took Shaheed because I wasn't going to take Stroud here rather. And so now I didn't get Higgins, where now I'm just kind of in no man's land with those two. What I am thinking right now is either Keenan Allen or Luther Burden. And after last night, I think that Luther Burden's ADP is going to rise and we get a bring back for Brock Purdy. So we're going to go Burden next. Honestly, the Caleb drafter should have gotten Burden instead of Scatterbill. We can get like a Tyler Shuck if we want to. Or just the falling, 13th round quarterback, which could be like Geno or I didn't even realize Fields was still there. I should have drafted Fields. I could have drafted Fields too. I have enough Fields though. Like Jordan Love shouldn't be going this late. Yeah, Cam Ward, Nyamander works for this team. All right. Kitchen, you're confusing me right now. To go Penix for a bring back of Bowers. They're not playing each other in week 17. I think we go Jaden Blue and just go, wow, we just have all rookies at running back. I mean, we could go Tootin, go with another. All right, we're going to go Jaden Blue. Look at Kitchen. Kitchen thinking about last year. Pretty heavy rookie squad with these running backs. You keep Derrick Henry over Josh Allen in a keeper league. I mean, the problem with keeper questions, I get, guys, for the record, if you send me a keeper question via podcast@lateround.com, I cannot answer that. I can't. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I get at least 10 of them a day at this point. That podcast email is just for the podcast. It's for answering questions. And people are like, urgent. I need this answered immediately. And I'm like, bro, come on. You know, if I just open things up to everybody, it'd be insanity. I wouldn't be able to get anything done. So I understand that you got to get stuff, done, but you also had the last couple months to ask the question, to be fair. And there's also, as Kitchen points out, there's a keeper chat in Discord. Have you been drafting like that all season, Kitchen? Hi, JJ. Hope the wife is feeling better. Who do you prefer out of Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Chase Brown, and Irving? I have him ranked Chase Brown. I'm going to probably bump up Josh Jacobs a little bit, but I still have Bucky, then Jacobs, then Taylor. And then in a full PPR setting, if you're starting 2 wide receivers in a flex, I don't really have a preference between Bowers and AJ Brown. My wife's doing well though. I don't know, guys. She's had COVID a few times, and all but one. I mean, I got it once, but we've never had COVID at the same time. And she had it, and I tested today, and I was negative just to make sure, because I had some slight congestion, but it was just kind of like morning stuff. I might have avoided it. Knock on wood. It's crazy. Look at that. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt in round. Oh my gosh. Ollie Gordon in round 13. What is this team in the one spot doing? It's the dairy-free diet. I mean, apparently. The dairy gluten-free diet. What is this? What is going on here in this one spot? What are we doing? What are we doing? Can you and Kitchen do a joint live stream where y'all are in the same best ball draft? I think it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, we could do that, or we could just do one together, as Kitchen said, do a 5-5-5 together. The problem with the 5-5-5 is I don't know how quickly it would fill. I mean, look, we're sitting here again. Well, Michael Penix is just here. We could do a backdoor Penix Ray. Like, let's just get the value, right? Let's just do it. Let's just get the value. You can get Ray still. Now I need Ray. So I'll keep him up there. Why not Geno? I like Penix more than those guys. I'm going to play the value game. I can stack better with the other guys, but I have decent enough stuff going on here. I just like Penix better. Penix is low-key. Yeah, Kitchen was right about Penix. Penix is low-key a Jameis type, which is why I'm trying to get as much Drake London as possible right now. Like, ever since Darnell Mooney's injury, I'm like, all right, Drake London, you're moving up the rankings. Just say, JJ, you love Penix. All right. We need another running back or something. We need a body. You guys, let's just keep going with rookies, or let's get Eckler. I have a lot of Tootin, like a lot. Eckler's probably going to go soon. We have Jaden Blue, so there's a bring back, and we need a little bit more of a floor with a veteran. I mean, team one is probably going to take Ray McLeod next. Who would have thought that we'd see this corner right here? 12-11, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. 12-12, Will Shipley. 13-1, Ollie Gordon. Just wild. Yeah, Eckler's fine in full PPR. JJ is Tootin a lot. It's true. I mean, if Tootin's there whenever we're running it back in the next round, goodness gracious. Yeah, Mitch, you're talking about guillotine leagues. I would go back and listen to Paul Charchin's, like Aaron saying. I did a late round perspectives with Charch, and we talked guillotine strategy. That's pretty evergreen in nature. Bro's playing with redraft rankings, basically. Yeah, I mean, like, it's fine if you want to throw those darts in round 12 in redraft in your managed leagues. Interesting with B-Rob speculation that JCM is now 2 rounds above Eckler. Yeah, I mean, look, if B-Rob's gone, that's huge for both these guys, but it's bigger for JCM. I talked about that on last week's Avoid show with Evan Silva, where I mentioned B-Rob as an avoid. Oh, Aaron listened to it this morning. Thanks. I need to do a better job. Kitchen, we need to do a better job of bringing back some of the evergreen bits from those perspectives episodes. Like the Charch one at the beginning. But you're going to be more intimate with some of that content now because you weren't at late round last year. JJ, will you be making an appearance on Josh and Hayden's show with your favorite picks again this year? I will not, no, because I'm working with DraftKings. I love those guys. They're friends. My picks were horrible last year. Last year I noticed that like the guys that I would randomly throw out on like Target shows and stuff, they were bad. And then the next tier were always good. Like I had so much like Brian Thomas and stuff. I did do Brian Thomas on the Footballers MVP show last year. So that was a big W. I still might get Dylan Sampson. We go Sampson or Woody. No, Woody actually would be kind of sweet. I think we go Woody Marks here because we have Nico and the Amari and Hampton stuff. Let's go with another rookie running back. Why not? Oh, I forgot Garendo. Good call, Aaron. Maybe that Q tag will keep Garendo there for the next round. Garendo's good. I forgot I had Purdy. I don't want to get Hollywood. I have not been into Hollywood like others have, but I'll put him in the queue. Okay. We'll do that. This is what we're looking at. And then I'll put Dylan Sampson next. JJ with both Penix and Woody. The genitalia allegories never end. I don't hate Hollywood. I'm just, being realistic about his age and health and how he's just never seemingly on the field. All right, there goes Hollywood. Come on. Give us Garendo. I don't like watching. Let's not watch. Oh, we got him. See, it all works out in the end anyway. Now we need to get some wide receivers and a tight end, maybe 2. We'll see what tight end we can get. We have Bowers, so I don't want to go crazy. You guys think I should do another one after this? Back to back? I have an opening in my day. I just need to edit my podcast. What are your thoughts on Vele versus Franklin? I think Vele is the starter and Franklin is a splash play dude, but I'd mix in both at this point. I think drafting Vele as heavily as I did when I did was fine because he had a safe role, whereas Franklin didn't, and now Franklin's role is safer. All right, everyone's saying do another. All right, we'll do some more. We'll do another. You guys can join if you want. Actually, don't join. You guys are too sharp. I don't want sharp people to join. I got a big day tomorrow though, so this will take the spot of tomorrow's. Unless Kitchen, you do a stream tomorrow. I've got to record Becoming a Best Ball Bro, the intro with Rich, with the guest also. I've got the Fantasy Pros marathon thing that I'm doing. There's a lot going on tomorrow. Today, though, I think I can do another. Here, Kitchen said he'll do a stream tomorrow. Need something to distract from my last day of work before Ireland. Woo! Ireland sounds fun. I wish I was going to Ireland. Okay, what kind of tight end can we get? Is Zach Ertz still there? No. Can't get a lot. This might have to be a 3 tight end build with Bowers. Let's look for some wide receivers, though. I think Ray Ray's got to be my next pick, so we don't ruin this correlation. People are going to say, don't draft Ray Ray. I did this before where I needed Ray Ray McLeod, and he went at the 17-18 turn, and I'm not doing that again. It's not happening again. Look at that. See, Kitchen said it. Way too early for Ray Ray. Fine, I'll push it 1 round. If someone drafts Ray Ray McLeod, Kitchen, if someone drafts Ray Ray McLeod before my 18th round pick, you're fired. Okay? Just remember that. All right. We do need a wideout though. Do we go Torrey Horton? Do we have any? I mean, what tight end? Freiermuth? No, he's gone. Theo Johnson's gone. Maybe Freiermuth. We just need a body. Oh no, we can go Jawan because we have Shaheed. Or we go Tesla. Let's just draft Tesla. Everyone has a different take. I have both Horton and Tesla. I love Horton. But I want a little bit more Tesla. Have you been getting much flack for where you're ranking Brees? Feels like you're one of the few still left talking him up this year. Look, I mean, I put the caveat in the draft guide about Braylon Allen. The bottom line, though, is that like even this weekend, people were like, "Oh, the usage wasn't bad at all." He had a 50% route participation. He saw like good touches when he was on the field. I genuinely think that this season we're going to see how the market just underrates pass catching and overrates lack of pass catching at running back. It's It's just wild to me. The way people talk about Tank Bigsby, the way people talk about Jordan Mason, the way people are talking about Braylon Allen, and then the lack of how they're talking about RJ Harvey. Now Travion Henderson's getting steamed. Breece Hall. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to, your lucky kitchen. I am not trying to be overweight on Breece necessarily, like massively overweight. But I think that his falling value, I would take Kyron over him. I would take Kenneth Walker over him. But that's where we're at in drafts. Like, Breece went right here. I'd still take Breece over Chuba. You know, I think that you could. I think the big thing for me is going to be Breece versus Travion in the next update. And I think that's where I might go Travion because we're seeing the usage be obvious there. Ramondre's a little bit banged up, but we're seeing the usage be more obvious in New England. And to me, you know, Breece probably has a higher target share ceiling, but New England has a much higher offensive ceiling. So I think you go Travion over Breece. James Cook is the other one. Yeah, that's probably like at least in that range. But most analysts are going to say that Breece is like the next tier down. I still think he's in that tier, if that makes sense. And El Oso is bringing up the Breece conversation I had with Silva on the podcast. Like, if you're in a full PPR league, players who get to a 15% target share with a 40, 50% running back rush share, so even making the assumption that Braylon Allen is going to see a lot of work, they generally do really well. It's just really hard for people to wrap their heads around the fact that pass catching just matters that much more than rush attempts do at running back. And yeah, the touchdown stuff is definitely not like the touchdown upside likely is not there for Breece this year. But I think that what that touchdown delta is really going to show is if Braylon Allen weren't involved, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, because they're not going to score that much anyway. And Justin Fields is going to steal some. So like Breece Hall's argument was never really, hey, we're going to be this huge touchdown getter, which obviously we want, but he can score from further out than 5 yards. He has that capability. So I don't know. I still think Breece is not a bad pick. Like with the falling value. Like, of course my priors have been adjusted because I didn't think they would use Braylon Allen quite this much. Ironically, I've drafted a lot of Braylon Allen because you could see this coming in like mid-July, right? I mean, some people even saw it coming earlier because of the coach speak, but then there were beat reporters and so many news items that were saying that Braylon Allen was going to be more involved. And then, all right, I guess we'll just go best tight end available. We'll go Freiermuth and then maybe Fannin to end the draft. You could see it coming. And so the weird thing was that the best ball market wasn't reacting and Braylon Allen was still like a 15th round pick. So that's when I scooped him up a ton. I don't think Braylon Allen is that good of a redraft managed league type pick. I don't think Jordan Mason is that good of a managed league pick. I don't think Tank Bigsby is that good of a managed league pick. They're fine, but I don't know how many times I got to talk about my philosophy in fantasy football to say that I don't want singles. You know, if I'm drafting a dude in round 10, unless it's a deep league where I just need the depth and I need to throw that player in my starting lineup, I don't need to force it with a Tank Bigsby type or like a Jordan Mason type who I don't love their projected receiving volume. Aaron Jones is still one of the best receiving running backs in football. He's shown that year in and year out. Jordan Mason last year did nothing in San Francisco. We're going to get my boy Harold Fannin. All right. We can continue this conversation with the next draft. I want to talk about this one. You guys can rate this out of 10. Nico Collins, Brock Bowers, Amarian Hampton. So you get some bring back for Nico. Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, RJ Harvey, Patrick Mahomes. Those 4 really aligned well for a stack in week 17. Juwan Jennings, Brock Purdy, Rashid Shaheed, Luther Burden to bring back for San Francisco. Jaden Blue, Michael Penix, Austin Eckler, Woody Marks, Isaac Garendo, Isaac Tesla, Ray McLeod, Pat Freiermuth, and Harold Fannin. Kind of like it. It's not bad. It's not the best that I've drafted, but it's not bad. 8.2, 8. Okay. But I do think, going back to that conversation about the running backs, I do think that, all right, it's keeping up with the trend of really strong drafts. That's good. You like this build a lot. 7.9. Fanning gets it to 8.6. 7.4. Like, I think the guys like Jordan Mason, Braylon Allen, Tank Bigsby are different. This is where there's a difference in best ball and managed, because they're going to find the end zone. They'll have those one-off weeks. I just don't know how predictable it's going to be. All right, we'll leave, and we will go back and enter another Millie for the people. But with Breece Hall, like, if he sees a 13 to 17% target share, which I think is possible, I mean, he should be able to. Who's in here? Kitchen got in here in the 3 spot. I'm in the 12. So Kitchen and I will not be messing with each other in this draft. But yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying that I'm going to be one tier ahead of Breece Hall, because I think he's going to be at the end of that, like, Kyron type tier. And I'm going to put Travion in there too. But I think people are going to have him outside of that tier, right? I'm still in it. Like, it could just be that Braylon Allen is a better value, and it's not going to, it's going to impact Breece Hall's ceiling, but it's not going to impact him so dramatically, as much as the market is going to ding him. Once the season starts, what do your Sundays look like? I am in my office on Sundays, and I go downstairs and say hi to my family during breaks. But yeah, I'm watching every game, or as many games as I can. We're going to also rate Kitchen's draft here. Ooh, going to the Commanders preseason game today. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I'm sure that Twitter will react super rationally to whatever goes on with JCM. 70 subs until 8K. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Oh, man, I love Twitter. I just looked at my mentions, and last night I sent that tweet about, I said, I need to say this. There doesn't have to be roles in every coordinator's offense that translates from one team to the next. There doesn't have to be a Bucky Irving in the Jags offense. There doesn't have to be an Amon-Ra St. Brown in the Bears offense. We've jumped the shark. That's what I said. And then when Olamide Zaccheaus scored that touchdown and was looking good in the first drive, I quote tweeted and I said, Olamide Zaccheaus in the Amon-Ra St. Brown role. And someone added me today and said, except for he's nowhere near St. Brown status or level and can't do anything he does. Yeah, brother. That was the point of my tweet. Yes, you're right. I agree. Kitchen, you're on the clock, dude. Well, Kitchen's just autoing. Come on. Get with it. The interesting thing with Travion Henderson is that I think there's so much room for him to go up in ADP because there's such a flatness to round 3 and 4. So like he could just go really high. Beefcake, what's going on? You missed the first draft, my man. Kitchen probably getting ice for his Diet Coke. Wow, Nico at 105. Too bad I'm not going to benefit from something crazy happening like that. Justin Jefferson at the 108. I got to check some of my drafts and make sure I'm not on the clock. Wow, Justin Jefferson at 109. Hayden has Nico over Justin Jefferson. That's bold. I love Nico. I just don't think I'd put him over Jefferson. All right. I think we go Puka. I think we go Puka in London. I've been drafting as much Brian Thomas and like just because I've been trying to get a lot of like I want to be really overweight on London. Kitchen, get out of here, dude. You and your long neck. Am I wrong, guys? Am I wrong that this picture of Kitchen is like Mike Glennon-esque? Like it was AI'd? Where are you at in that photo? It looks like you're by telephone poles and wires. What's up with all these dudes taking King Henry in the first? I mean, I actually like this is I am not fading Henry. I have drafted probably 6 to 7%. So I don't know. This is feeling like a this team right here is feeling like a Matthew Stafford plays this year team. See? What's that profile picture? Yeah, H-Hand's falling because of the hamstring. Kitch Glennon. Look at this. Kitchen's not even on the stream and he's still getting trolled. That was my wife's view and she was enjoying it. Hashtag honeymoon. Oh my God. Yeah, Stafford practiced today. Oh, Kitchen. Oh boy, who's he going to pick here? The thing is, Achane was going in this area of the draft before the Jonnu trade. Thoughts on robust running back if you're picking near the front of the draft? I think it's pretty viable. At least RB, and then like JSN or something. Or T if you want to. I love here's something that's like fantasy Twitter has been something else this year. There's like a new breed of people on there, and the amount of victory lapping I see, I got to stop looking at my like For You page and stuff, but the amount of victory lapping I see when news goes down, just chill. Can we just chill? When Judkins, the charges were dismissed, everyone's showing their exposure, telling people how dumb they were, that they weren't drafting Judkins at the discounted price. Can we just chill? You have no idea what's going to happen. And then today, the opposite is happening of what you thought was going on Friday last week. Tyler, I need you. It's good to see you. Yeah, the victory lapping over Gent. Like, can we just all of us, because everyone's cool in this on this stream right now. That's commenting, that's viewing. Can we just for a second just rant about how incredibly obnoxious and stupid the Thread Bros have been? I mean, can we just stop? It's not helping anyone. It's just ridiculous. Wow. Are we sure Kitchen's not drafted in the 107? Calvin Ridley? Yeah. Last year, I told you to draft league winner Bijan. I'm an obnoxious person, and even I'm obnoxious too. Like, even if you're an obnoxious person, you're over this. I think this is going to be the Stafford's okay team. We'll see what we got at the turn, though. JSN at the turn would feel great. Okay, he just got drafted. Do we take Travion at the turn? Or did he go? No, he didn't go. Do we take Travion at the turn? Do you guys dare me? The problem is he was at the last turn before. Or like earlier in the offseason. Okay, we're going to go Devontae as 1. And then, I mean, probably Kittle. Did Travion go? Oh, yeah, he went 301. It's pretty crazy. All right, we go Devontae. And then we'll go Kittle probably over Marvin Harrison Jr. What do you guys think? We'll go Kittle. Yeah, I mean, Travion Henderson's like early third now. This is back-to-back drafts. He went 301. The problem that I have with how people are talking on Twitter and stuff, and look, I'm not the police. You can do whatever the heck you want to do, but I can have an opinion too, right? The problem I have is there's no substance to anything that anyone's saying. Like, I literally just opened up Twitter and I see a tweet from, I don't know, might be I'm sure a decent person, but it's all just like, it says, are people really advocating picking JCM over Eckler? Seriously? It's like, okay, talk about it more. What are you doing by just saying, really? You're being that idiotic? You're being that stupid? Like, what are we doing? Kittle becoming such a full season smash profile with a weakened receiving core. I just read that out loud. Core early and easy schedule all year. Any setback with Ayuk or Jennings? Yeah, agreed. Twitter is just bumper sticker logic. I like that. That notion. Travion at pick 53. I got Travion in my home league this past weekend. Can't be wrong if you never explain yourself. Here's the thing, though. Well, yeah, corpse. Yeah, exactly. I'm just reading as it's just that's what came out of my mouth, guys. The thing that's interesting is that I've noticed that, I mean, like, if you don't want to get trolled, like hardcore trolled with your takes and stuff, show your work. I don't get like that much hate because I'm showing my work. People are going to hate on me. That's just naturally what happens, you know, when people listen to your stuff and whatnot. But like, the people who are going to get trolled the most are the ones who are just like, you're an idiot for drafting Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt over Austin Eckler. It's like, I don't know, man. Maybe people don't want to wear 5 condoms while they're drafting, you know? Twitter's only gotten worse in the last 3 years, and the space is largely followed because of how voices get propped up for being hot takey, and turns out not everyone deserves an audience. All this JCM hype, and then we see Eckler pull off 2022. Look, I like, it's fine if you like Eckler, right? It's fine if you like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. What's not fine is asking or is acting like you have the answers to the 2025 season test. Right, 5 condoms in this economy? What are we doing here? We can't afford 5 condoms. You can't get trolled if you have no shame. That's true. That's true. Actually trying to imagine 5 condoms. Oh, man. But then, people are like, well, why are you like, stop complaining? I'm like, I'm complaining because I hate like illogical things and obnoxious things. And yeah, Twitter 5 years ago was a much more enjoyable experience than Twitter today. It has nothing to do with Elon Musk. I mean, partially does because I hate the bots. It's just that fantasy Twitter is a clickbaiting part of the world now. The thing that's really weird to me is that Travion Henderson's rising so much and RJ Harvey's not at all. You're complaining because you like nuanced discourse. Yeah, exactly. Like I want to have a good, honest conversation. I mean, we could go with the rookies at the turn here. Travis Hunter and RJ Harvey. I'm definitely going to go Harvey. Let's just go Hunter. Because I don't think we have any correlation elsewhere anyway. Did you ever listen to Denny telling my vasectomy story on the LTS patron pod? I don't think I did. If we don't complain and request a different standard, then the standard doesn't change. Got to voice and act to make change. I agree. And like, I think it's an important thing to talk about. Like if we just continuously accept mediocrity out of ourselves, out of others, where do you think we're going to go as a society? And it just so happens that the thing that I can voice my opinion about has to do with fantasy football, right? I'm not sitting here voicing my opinion about, something medical because I didn't go to school for that. I don't know things like that. I have opinions based on the stuff that I've experienced and researched. Man, Zay Flowers is falling in this one. How does the Lamar team not take Zay Flowers right there? Man. No, I don't like James Conner as much in best ball because I worry about him breaking down late in the season. Jalen Waddle fell here. There goes Zay to the auto drafter. Correlation is for cucks. Put it on my my back. Get it tatted on my back. Correlation is for cucks. Kitchen, you got a Dunze. It's still good. That'd be a good shirt. Correlation is for cucks. Tyler, you should try to sell that. I'll retweet it. Yeah, coffee. It'd be a good coffee mug. Correlation is for cucks. It is funny that I'm going on Fantasy Pros marathon tomorrow. You guys can tune in. I'm on at 2. And this past week was trashing rankings competitions. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's good to have opinions on these different things. It doesn't mean that I like hate people at Fantasy Pros or I hate Fantasy Pros. I just disagree. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a disagreement like that. I think what's wrong is if you came in hot and you said, F the, like just like destroying the other party for no reason. But like, to me, it's pretty rational and fine to have opinions about this stuff. And maybe that means that I'll never do a partnership deal with Fantasy Pros. Sorry, Kitchen. But I'm also gonna be truthful about how I feel about things in the fantasy space. Because it's something that I'm passionate about. It's my job, it's my livelihood. So I care. Had to step away and I come back to correlation is for cucks. As a data engineer, that is hysterical. All right, let's see what we got to do here. We are in a bad, rough spot. Do we play into the Brian Robinson stuff? Okay, let's see. We shouldn't probably go tight end. We could go Bo Nix. I might get Caleb Johnson because I don't have that much. He's falling. We're just in a bad spot. There's no wideouts here that we really... I like Jalen Warren. For the record, I like Jalen Warren straight up more than Caleb Johnson. I'm just getting exposure. Do I get Brian Robinson here and hope that he gets traded? I have like no Brian Robinson and I'm scared about that. We have there's like no correlation to really go for here. I'm going to do it. Let's see if he gets traded. That's where he went in the last draft that I was in. We'll see. Probably a wasted pick. Yeah, I've been talking about Caleb Johnson's. I hate this turn. I just picked two guys. For the record, I just picked two players that I have not been drafting on DraftKings much at all this offseason. Okay. Yeah, there's Kitchen. Time of death, 2:07 p.m. But I want to get at least some exposure if B-Rob goes to an advantageous spot. And it's such a dead area where there's just nothing obvious to pick. But yeah, I'm really concerned about Caleb Johnson's pass pro. Boss gonna ask why the report is late. I'll tell him I was told by online chat to make and sell my viral t-shirt. This area of the draft is just so bad. I could have gone Knicks there and started a Denver's thing. Probably should have. But, what are you going to do? It's because all those wide receivers got hurt. Kitchen's team is looking good. Dallas stack. But hey, I got my I think second or third. My other Brian Robinson share was at like 104. I know that because I remember it. I got to drink some of my water. How many more drafts for me to max? I think like 10. So I joined a bunch of slows. Ooh, Kitchen, you're looking good. Kitchen's sitting back right now with his long neck. Saying, look at me. I've been drafting Adams for the most part at his discounted price. Not like aggressively, but I think there's still a decent chance that Stafford's okay. That's right. We need some extra hydration. I didn't join any of the millies slow. I joined other drafts slow. I need to keep all the millies that I can for live streams. Okay, so we'll go Brock, hopefully. Might go Shaheed again. Can't go Dobbins because I have Harvey. Do I just do the Shaheed Brock thing? Same exact. I had these two in the last team. I think we do that. Look at Kitchen telling me who to draft. I know, pal. I know. Jaden Higgins got drafted right before. I talked about him on the last draft that I did. I don't mind Higgins at all. I'm just trying to get more Shaheed exposure. Ooh, Feeding the Ducks. Yeah, we can get some music going. By the way, if you guys are Living the Stream fans, we will be back. Back with Living the Stream this week on Wednesday. And I have a special surprise. A new intro outro video for Living the Stream that I made. And it's more unhinged than the podcast itself. Living the Stream on Wednesday will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern for our Listener League draft. Hopefully with one Tom Everett Scott. Actually, I'm going to text them right now. Make sure that they're... Look at that. I'm the king of promos. So his old LTS intro retired. No. So sorry about that. The song is the same. The song will never go away. The difference is there is a new video involved. But the outro is more insane than the intro. The intro is kind of standard. But the outro is more insane. Kitchen with this 3 quarterbacks. Goodness. Tom Everett Scott is one of the greatest people. That's hilarious. You were dressed as a 70s disco cowboy. Excuse me. Maybe I do have COVID. All right, this is a Darnell Mooney spot. A Kyle Pitts spot. Whoops. And a Trevor Lawrence spot. There goes Pitts, or there goes Mooney, rather. Oh, there goes Lawrence. Okay, maybe I should stop saying names. We're going to have to pick up Penix. Okay. We'll go Pitts and Penix. I hate picking Penix over Jordan Love, but the correlation's there with Drake London from earlier and the bring back for the Rams. Tom is awesome. He was filming something in Wilmington last summer, Wilmington, North Carolina, and my family was there for a handful of days on the beach, and he came and visited, hung out with the kids, drank some White Claws. It was a good time. Kitchen said, apologies to those watching from their workplace because my team is not safe for work. You're going to need a running back, pal. Okay? I'm going to be one of those people. You're going to need a running back. That's not Josh Jacobs. The most random thing that Tom Everett Scott is in the LTS. Every year he's been in the LTS Listener League. How far apart do you have Tet and Travis? I've seen more and more people recently saying they straight up prefer. I still like Tet more. But I clearly don't mind Travis Hunter. Man, I need to blow my nose now after that sneeze. I'm going to be right back. Okay, we're back. Nose blown. Yeah, I'm wearing red gym shorts today. Because I'm sitting at home all day. There's no need. There's no need to dress to impress. Actually, this is completely untrue. This is completely untrue. My shorts are above knee. Thank you very much. Who doesn't blow their nose loud? I'm a dad. Of course. What dad doesn't blow their nose loud? My N1 nickname. You know what my N1 nickname is. You saw a video last week, Kitchen. But we're not going to talk about that. They're not capri. What are you guys talking about? Do you need me to get up so you can look at my short length? They're literally they're running shorts. I'll go out. I run with these. I'm stuttering now because you guys got me off my game. It's actually hilarious that you guys were able to hear that nose blow because this microphone shouldn't be picking up that kind of thing. You gotta start charging for these streams. Yeah, for real. Blonde nose gate and short gate, simply incredible. Oh my gosh. I'm glad that I'm getting interaction because I blew my nose. But do you see how much better it sounds? Blowing your nose loudly is one of the rules in the dad handbook that you get after having a kid. Thank you, BP. I sneeze like a tornado siren. Oh my goodness. All right, we got to figure out maybe a quarterback again. But there aren't any. No, we can go Stafford. I don't love going with the same week 17 game. Could go Aaron Rodgers though too and wait. I might just push. Because why not? So let's go. I'm going to go Eck again. Could go Eck and Ertz. No, we have two tight ends there. I'm all out of sorts after that situation. I might just reach for Stafford. Should I? I'm probably not going to. But there's no one here. We'll go Garendo again. If I don't get Stafford next round, fine. Looks like it's going to be a Jackson Dart team. Yo, I'm not wearing orange capris. I'm wearing red. Here, you want to see? You guys want to see? I can't move my camera well enough because it's stuck. I'll take a picture like this. This is gonna be next level. You ready for this? Actually, that's going to be weird if I do that. If Stafford sneezes like that, he goes straight to IR. Oh my goodness. I forgot that I'm so off. This team sucks. I forgot that I drafted Brian Robinson on this team. I completely forgot. I'm so used to never having Brian Robinson. So we're at a 4 out of 10 team right here. This is what happens when I do a second draft on the stream. You guys think that I wear capris, I blow my nose really loud, and then I draft 2 Washington Commanders running backs. Now I need I need Brian Robinson to get traded team, which is kind of what I wanted and needed whenever I drafted him, to be fair. Holy crap, what a bad team. Yeah, I mean, look. This is good for business, right? That makes up for the wasted $20 until B-Rob gets traded. At least I can like one of the hardest parts about drafting as an analyst, like in big leagues that get posted and stuff, is that I can't talk about the logic behind why I picked who I picked. You know, the Kings Classic happened last week and the draft board was posted and I went really wide receiver heavy and no one realized that it was a start 3 wide receiver, 3 flex full PPR league. And so I'm like, yeah, that's why I went wide receiver heavy. But at least in this, you guys know that I drafted Brian Robinson just because I needed at least more than 1 share of Brian Robinson in case he got traded. And then I had to sneeze. And then you guys threw me off my game and I took Austin Eckler. At least you know why this happened. Blue hat and red shorts. Yeah. Who cares? Do you know how many times I'm leaving the house the rest of the day? This many times. Although I might have to go pick up the kids from camp and daycare, which in that case, I would change my shorts. I'm not going to go out in public like this. You guys are sick. There goes Stafford. Speaking of sick, this team absolutely needed to have 4 quarterbacks. They just needed their 4th quarterback before their 4th running back. LateRound Moo is available in the merch store. I mean, we can still get Aaron Rodgers, hopefully. Although, does this team only have... Okay, they don't. These 2 teams might be going in that direction. What's it matter, though? This team's toast. Just the dustiest team. All right. We'll go Rodgers with 1 pick. And then, do we have any Giants? No. We could go A-Rich, actually. We have we're gonna go Anthony Richardson. Because we have Travis Hunter. And then we can go A.D. Mitchell later, hopefully. We'll go Anthony Richardson, and then we will go... I mean, what's even available here? I don't really want Alec Pierce. A.D. Mitchell's been crushing. Torrey Horton? Sure. Why not? Might as well get weird so that when it wins, people are like, how'd he get... Yeah, that's true. 2 words, nose trumpet. Not only can I blow my nose like that, but I can also kazoo. I already got the Travis Hunter bring back. I don't even need Parker Washington. I can kazoo, though. What song do you guys want me to kazoo? I'll kazoo right now and just make this the most unhinged live stream, solo live stream you've ever heard. Final countdown. Did you say final countdown because I did the final countdown before? The Final Countdown is my go-to kazoo song. Like, did you just randomly say Final Countdown? Oh, Crazy Train would be good. Jesse's Girl, Freebird. Ignition Remix. All right, we're going to do the Final Countdown. You guys ready? I got to turn off this music in the background. You guys ready for this? Okay, here we go. Where are the claps? Where are the claps at? Please clap. One of my 5 condoms just flew off. I mean, when you hear Final Countdown kazooing, look at this. How is that not the intro? Bravo. More. Does anyone listen to Smartless in here? I'm sure a lot of people. It's one of the biggest podcasts in the world. But they had that one dude. Bravo. Manungai fits his build, I think. I don't even remember what this build is, to be completely honest. I have no clue who's on this team. We need 80 Mitchell, right? Who else do we need? Another tight end, probably. It's going to be really interesting to look at this team afterwards because I don't remember who I drafted. We could do Crazy Train. Or we could do the Living the Stream intro. There we go. Could do any song. It's crazy. Who are our tight ends again? Oh, Kyle Pitts and George Kittle. Okay. I think we just take these two, Kyle Manungai and AD Mitchell. Sure. 10 out of 10 mouth kazoo. Thank you. Subscribe to the Patreon to get weekly kazoo songs. I mean, I've thought about putting an album together on Spotify. I just don't want to break the app. I'm just a sight today. Giant jug, red shorts, nose trumpets, and kazoos. Just a totally unhinged live stream. Is this how you picked up the wifey? I respect the game. Yeah, you know. Mouth kazoo is my nickname in college. Oh man. Yeah, I could do when T Swift comes out with a new album, I'll have an alternative album. We're actually collabing. But don't tell anyone. Yo, look, is this team like not bad? Like, are we gonna be able to tell ourselves a story here? Like, is it usable? Just tell me it's usable. If this team makes it to the final, everyone in here, I will send them a kazoo in the mail. Yeah, the running backs are looking rough. That's because I drafted Brian freaking Robinson and Caleb Johnson. 2 guys I haven't drafted at all this year. Yeah, it's very mid for my standards. I would agree. Kitchen getting some Ollie Gordon into his portfolio. I should have just gotten Jordan Mason. You're probably right. I certainly like him more than Brian Robinson straight up. Just a little play on the portfolio. I did get confirmation that Tom will be drafting with us tomorrow. So there you have it. Or sorry, Wednesday. Wednesday at 9 p.m. Go Juwan here. I might keep this actually at a 2 tight end team to get another running back because the running backs are so weak. And you know who we're going to pick? We're going to go Dameon Pierce, and we're going to hope that he's the dude. You like that? I just randomly went that direction. And then wide receiver. Oh, boy. What just happened? Keandre Lambert-Smith. Olamide Zaccheaus. Let's go Zaccheaus. Let's bring it back. Okay. Recap the team. Puka Nacua, Drake London, Devontae Adams, George Kittle, RJ Harvey, Travis Hunter, Caleb Johnson, Brian Robinson, Brock Purdy, Rashid Shaheed, Kyle Pitts, Michael Penix, Austin Eckler, Isaac Rendo, Anthony Richardson, Torrey Horton, Kyle Monangai, A.D. Mitchell, Dameon Pierce, and Olamide Zaccheaus. I'll take a 6.3. I think this is like a 5. This is the Matthew Stafford's healthy and Brian Robinson gets dealt. But we will forever remember this stream as the nose trumpet stream. Kitchens team. CeeDee Lamb, Trey McBride, Josh Jacobs, George Pickens, Terry McLaurin. Nice bring back for Dallas. Romadunze, Jordan Addison, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, Luther Burden. Looking good through round 11. Jaden Blue at RB2. Ray Davis at RB3. Hollywood Brown because you can't quit him. Najee Harris. Isaiah Likely, Justice Hill, Ollie Gordon. You better hope that Josh Jacobs doesn't get hurt, my man. And Aronde Gatson and Jalen Royals in the final 2. I like Kitchen's team more than mine. Agreed. I wouldn't have picked Najee. He did not land the plane. Sorry, Kitchen. Sorry, buddy. Not all of us can draft Austin Eckler with Brian Robinson. Whoops. All right, guys. That was a fun stream. Good times. I appreciate all of you. It was really funny. I'm going to keep wearing my red shorts the rest of the day. I will be... Yeah, there's Tyler. Is this team great? No. Was the stream great? Yes. You know what? I'll take it. Sometimes you got to sacrifice 20 bills to get some subs, you know? I appreciate all of you though. Like I said, I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow. Kitchen will be on tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, I will probably do a stream, but then I'm also going to do Living the Stream at 8 p.m. Eastern with myself, Denny Carter, Tom Everett Scott. It'll be streaming on this page. We'll be doing a 14-team, pretty deep rosters draft, snake draft. I have no idea what spot I'm in. That'll randomize an hour before the draft. Year 10 of the Listener League. Everyone asked Denny over on Blue Sky how many Listener League championships he has. And he might not answer because he doesn't have any. But it'll be a good time. I love both Denny and Tom dearly. So tune in then. Otherwise, everyone...